got an anonymous tip to go check on the welfare of a person at the house?
Yes, last evening, shortly before 7:30, we received an anonymous call at the Seymour Police Department about to check on the welfare of a 56-year-old female on Eleanor Road. We go to that address, and when officers arrive, they start speaking to family members. They relate to the house, and as the officers are investigating this complaint, they smell a foul odor coming from the residence. They were finally able to speak to the victim, and at that time, what the officers encountered was just astonishing as far as the living conditions that she was living in.
So, if you could step a little bit closer, because there's a lot of noise around here. So, the living conditions, we're talking about feces and urine, right? I mean, kind of describe the scene.
Yes. When the officers, as they approach the bedroom, the first thing they notice is a lock or clasp on the door from the outside, which would prevent someone from entering or exiting the room from the inside. When they open the room, they encounter a horrible stench and a smell. They see the victim. The victim's covered in urine, human feces, very disheveled. Condition was very poor at that point in time. Very weak, frail, thin, and you could tell she was probably malnourished, and just horrible conditions they encountered.
She was laying in a bed?
I believe she was able to get up, and they provided her, they had her exit the residence in immediate fashion, and started medical care with the ambulance personnel that were dispatched to that incident.
I was hearing in court that her skin was like all messed up because of all the feces and all that.
I can't go into obviously medical reasons, but the conditions were deplorable. Probably one of the worst that these officers have encountered in their career. That they saw someone living in this room.
And they left right away because they couldn't take the stench, right? And then another officer...
The officers, when they were in the house, they had to immediately back out of the house within a matter of minutes because the stench and the smell from the residence, especially that particular area where the victim was kept, was just so overwhelming. And at that time, they called for assistance. A detective was dispatched to that area to assist them with a special hazmat suit and actually breathing gear similar to what a fire department personnel would use in order to finish processing that scene.
Was there any prior calls to the house for police involvement at that address?
Throughout the years, we've been at that residence several times on numerous and various calls. Nothing encountering this incident except for two incidences. Back in 2010, we were dispatched there to check on the welfare. Our officers did speak to the victim. At that time, she was in a healthy state of mind. Her physical condition was excellent. And the case was basically closed out because she was a normal person living in good conditions. And they were satisfied that she was being taken care of at that time, and there was no reason to go any further. Again, she was physically healthy, sound state of mind, etc.
So do they think that this confinement occurred from 2010 to now, or is there a number, like a time frame established?
Something happened over the course of the last several years. We were there again in 2012. There was concern, again, that maybe the victim was not being cared for. Two officers responded there, and again, they did not find any reason to be alarmed. The case was closed out, but nothing further. So somewhere between, I think it was July of 2012 till now, nearly 2 years later, the conditions had deteriorated rapidly for whatever reason. We feel that there is a motive on the accused part, and obviously it had to do with some type of legal transaction with the house. And I'm not familiar with the legalities. I'm not a lawyer, but he had concerns that he would lose the house if she needed further assistance. So.
Were the officers able to talk to the victim?
Last night?
Yeah, last night.
They did speak to the victim last night. I think it was a very limited conversation, but they were able to have some interaction with them.
Was her condition still someone who was a normal, taking course of interest in bed?
I I believe, you know, they handled the situation where they had to get her immediate medical care. Again, the interaction was limited, and their concern was her safety. They had her exit the house immediately and provided her the medical care she needed.
She's disabled.
I believe there's some medical issues that maybe she has been dealing with.
Because that's what they talked about.
That was up to the her caretaker, obviously the accused, that was Mr. Galvin, that was arrested to provide those services for her.
You said held captive for several years in the press release. When you guys went back a couple times, there was nothing there to show you that she was being locked in a room, or
no, nothing. Actually, in 2010, the officer physically was in the house. The living conditions were just like anybody else's. He actually went to the room. The room was clean as could be. She had everything being provided to her at that time, and there was no reason or cause for concern back in 2010. And in 2012, similar. They did not encounter any reason for concern. So.
Why did you guys